Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Uh, I guess you can see on the screen, I believe, or can you? No, you can't. Wait a minute, maybe you can. No, you can't. Okay. Today it's July 26, 2024, Friday. It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm feeling pretty good for somebody who's 83 years of age and was lucky. I was lucky all my life in a way. I really didn't have any real medical problems. I had some medical problems that they weren't taken care of, but that's another story. But right now, for 83, I guess things are not too bad. I've got a doctor's appointment August 7th, and that's about my gross feet and legs. And we don't have a car. I use MITS service. It's a local service provided by the community, by Fort Worth Transportation Service or something. And if you have a doctor's, uh, excuse, if you have a doctor's, no, it doesn't have to be. I take that back. You can sign up for that service and get picked up. And there was a guy, I don't think he's still doing, I haven't seen him, in the apartment complex across the street from here, down a ways at the corner, and he's in an electric wheelchair or whatever, and he goes to work, apparently, I'm guessing. I don't know, maybe he goes to a bar, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 or something. I'm sure he's working or whatever. And they come and pick him up. Darlene, my ex-wife, she has a card from them, and she has to pay $4, to be taken someplace. Does not have to. I always think of it as having to be for a doctor's appointment. Doesn't have to be. You can be taken to a movie theater. You can be taken to the grocery store. You could do all kinds of things. So very good service. I went to the doctor about a month ago, and had my the form expires after a certain amount of time. The thing expires. I guess I could call up, couldn't I? I could do this. What am I doing? Gotta learn. MITS. I don't know. Let's see. Nope. Transport. Maybe that's it. Might be some other. It might be some other place. Oh, anyway. Why did they get on this subject? I do not know. Anyway, I'm using OBS. I have made, some little improvements to it. I need to go in and, change it to the way I've used it in the past, but I can't remember how I did that exactly. So, I've got a second ham radio that I purchased. Whoops. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, I forgot where. I just got this, so. Oh, the button's over here, I guess. I think it was only like $30 or $40, something like that. It's a nice. I haven't gone in and exactly put the frequencies in and all that kind of stuff. You can load them, you know, in their hundreds of frequencies and channels and stuff. I haven't done that yet, so I have another ham radio here that's over here. It's just sitting on the local repeater here. You know, there's, oh yeah, it's just hooked up. I'm not gonna, but the repeaters just are not being used like they used to in the old days. It was pretty neat in the old days with, now there's GRMS and all kinds of, okay, what kind of a notice did I get? Anyway, there's just so many channels, and there is so much that there just aren't as many people. I think there's the same number of people, maybe amateur radio operators and others, but people now are working through different systems or whatever. This is a local repeater for the Fort Worth area. Casey Cal. And I very rarely hear any call at all on this. When I was in Florida, it was the same thing. I would take my ham radio and have it on the frequency when I was at work. Not when I was inside the hospital, but when I, well, wasn't inside the hospital very much because that company down there had so much problem with companies that they had gone through that they had just gradually, why do I have this? Okay, on my face. I guess maybe you're not seeing it. Anyway, it used to be really great in the old days when you'd have your local repeater and people would jump on as they were coming home from work, as they're going to work, all types of, things. There just isn't, there's tremendous activity out there, but, where is it unless you're part of the in group? I mean, they don't hide it from you or anything. You can just dial in, but it's just different. Now, when I was in Florida, I bought a $500 amateur radio, and it did APRS. That's tracking. I should show that sometime. That's tracking, and I use that tracking all the time. So even when I was at home, I had the thing running, and if you wanted to find me, there was no, you don't need a password or anything like that. You could tune in, and you could see. And if I was traveling, in a car or a bus or whatever, it would give my speed, my location, and all types of data, and whatever else I wanted to display. Pretty neat. And I went ahead when I moved to, I forget where I moved from there to. Anyway, I went ahead and sold that. And I wish I had APRS now. There's a bunch of radios that do that APRS. And I like the idea of the thing. Now, all the years that I was in, I was in Overland Park, not Overland Park, Orlando for like a year or over. I did APRS and nobody was interested. I mean, and then later I went to Texas for a little while, then I went back to, went to Miami, and I ran APRS all the time. So you could always, family or friends, because you don't have to be an amateur radio operator. You can log online to the site, and you don't have to be an amateur radio operator. Now you do to transmit your location or whatever, but as far as tracking somebody else, if they're sending out the data, you can get the data, the speed, on a map it shows up. Really neat kind of stuff going on with amateur radio. I know we've got computers and we've got all this kind of stuff nowadays, but You know, a lot of new people, they should give amateur radio okay, come on, why do I have this tracking on me? Wonder if I can go in and turn it off here without bringing this to a crash here. How long have I been talking? Only 10 minutes. Wow. Okay, let's see what we can do here. You know, let's see what we can do on some other. Let's go. Wait a minute. Okay, that's this. Well, I think that's the same. That's the same camera that we had going. Let's see if our camera is still running here. It's still running. These porch pirates or something else. We haven't had anything stolen from us. I know the police have a lot of stuff, you know, shootings and everything else, but I think they should be doing more. You know, having a unmarked police car, something that doesn't look like a police car at all, just following occasionally in certain areas where the, you know, following the UPS truck and stuff like that, and Amazon, because people are following them, and then the driver drops something off. Okay, come on, wait a minute here. Change camera. Okay, I still have that tracking. Camera settings, are we still running? Let's see. Well, I should not be doing this while I'm, I shouldn't be doing this. I'll have to work on that later. And also, if you have a homeowners association or whatever, they should, let's see, have I ever lived in a place where we had a homeowners, I think we did. And they're a pain in the ass, especially for amateur radio operators or other people, about having an antenna up and things like that. And but a homeowners association, you know, they collect dues or whatever, and I don't know what they do with the money. But you know, it wouldn't hurt them. They could find out from their, you know, members, are you having stuff stolen, you know, from your, you know, your porch, and on what days is it happening, and stuff like that. And then, you know, then they could hire a contract security patrol service or something, preferably one that uses unmarked vehicles. I worked, oh God, 30 years hospital security full time, and then I worked many years for contract security. And you know, what I did, like, I worked for a big community, a big town, Overland Park, Kansas, and I patrolled the entire, you know, the entire town, the entire city, which was way too much the salesman, you know, for the patrol service, for the security service. just signed up, accounts with no consideration of, okay, there's only one person doing this for the entire major city, and how can I be at this place, and this place, so, but, the local, too, you could do that, but you don't want to get involved in any, some citizens could do that too. I mean, you could, a community, uh, but you just don't want to get yourself killed or, something. You have, even if you don't have kids, or something. But a, agency for the area you're living in, they could, like pay one day, one night a week, or one day a week. I guess it could be day, pay for, say, a week, a certain day or something, and just have it patrol. One, you could have it patrol where people would see, a patrol service with lights on it, if, that are allowed, in the United States, red lights are for police and fire. Also, in some parts of the United States, blue lights are fire, volunteer fire department, stuff like that. But anyway, you could have the vehicle set up to make it obvious, and you could have the name on the side, you could have the phone number on the side, or whatever, or you could have unmarked, unmarked cars, an unmarked car or cars, So there's a lot you could do. It's, I'm sure, really, like I said, we've never had anything stolen, like, never, So, FBI wants to talk to Trump after assassination attempt, sources tell. And that's Fox. That's a thing from Fox News, so it's not going to be negative for him. I have had hearing loss since I was in grade school, first grade. I would have loved. I tried over the years to learn Spanish, couldn't I? Because I have a hearing loss, and that makes it super difficult. But I think it'd be really fun to, speak multiple languages, maybe, even one, and then just go and, especially here in the United States, because people don't expect somebody else to be speaking, they should. We have a lot of people from other countries, but it'd be, I think, interesting to go out and have dinner someplace, or be someplace and hearing other people talking, and knowing what they're saying. And then I think it'd be really nice to, maybe you help somebody. Maybe somebody, you're on a bus or something, maybe somebody drops their purse or whatever, and then you could say, that they tell them, oh, you dropped your purse or something. That'd be, I think, a neat thing for some reason. I would like that, but not me. I have never used GMRS radio. It's sort of like CB. I used CB when CB, Citizen Band Service, was one of the amateur radio bands, 11 meters, was not being used because 10 meters was right next to it, and 10 meters, the other was whatever. And so they made, the FCC set up CB radio using 11 meters, and you could, you were supposed to use an ID, but nobody used an ID. I was the only one that used an ID. But now there's, a whole bunch of stuff. At GMRS radio and all kinds of things. Let's see. There's a lot of homeowners associations or whatever that will not let you put up an antenna. And There's actually FCC rules and regulations allowing that, but the homeowners association can keep you from putting up certain kinds of antennas and things like that. I've never run into that problem. Now, of course, I live in an apartment complex, and I can't go out here and put up a, an antenna sticking up off the roof, or, in the yard put a pole up or something. I can't do that. But we have a very short little area you can go out on. You can put the chairs out there and you can sit, and whatever. Now, I could put an antenna there on that short piece of, and I'm not sure how, I don't think I could stick it out any and then put a bracket and have it go up. I think it's strictly limited, to, so yeah, I guess we do have some strict. Another thing, now my ex-wife, she knew how to play the piano really well. I would have also loved to play like the piano. I was like a home alone kid, and I was up all night long. My parents were sleeping or whatever, and they came door to door. A company did, selling, a big thing that had classics, Tchaikovsky and all the rest of them, and I would listen to that at night. And I'd be pacing the floor and sort of thinking like, I wish I could do that or whatever. And let's see here. Lightning. Scammers. I've seen a lot of video. There's some people here in the United States, and I'm sure in other countries, that attack these spammers and bring them, down, switch things where take their thing down or take control of their cameras and the place where they're going, and it's really amazing what goes on, what they're able to do. I've got my door closed, but my son seems like he's getting kind of loud, talking on the telephone. Here's a video. Russian MiG-29 fighter pilot, okay, this is Russia, tries to jump away from a Ukrainian missile. 12 minutes. Let's look at a little bit of that. Oh, it says this pilot who tried to jump away from the missile, heading for his air, but that failed on his part. Well, I don't know how long this is going to go on. It's 12 minutes, but somebody else's video, and I don't, I'm not. I'll try to remember to put a link below to it, maybe. Nah, you can do that yourself. How long have I been talking here? Okay, it's going to come up just on 30 minutes. Wow. A genius boy repairs and restores a Rolex watch worth $2 million. Wow. I had for a while one of those. I had a Radio Shack cheapest you could get metal detectors, and basically all it detected was the pull top on on cans, and people were throwing those, on the ground in the parks and places like that. Eventually, here in the United States, they made sure that would, it wasn't detachable. You pull it to open your thing, but it stayed there. And anyway, one night when we had our tropical fish shop at its first, second, third location, we slept there with our kids, and I was sleeping, and I heard it sounded like a spacecraft, like what we think a spacecraft would, hovering and all that kind of stuff. And I was laying in bed. What in the fuck is that? I'm thinking, what is that? I'm laying there thinking, that's got to be something. What could that be? And then it hit me. Oh, the metal detector I had in the closet, that was coming from there. So I got up, and sure enough, it had fallen over and turned itself on or something. So I never had any success with metal detector. That would have been fun too, I think. Anyway, has this been 30 minutes? 26 minutes. I like YouTube and I hate YouTube because of the situation, if you're following me. I also now hate YouTube. But I also love these various things that you see, the stories and things. Some of them. There is a tremendous amount of crap on there. Stuff that's made up. Stuff that's lies. I think I saw this video here, 32 minutes. Black man is arrested, but when cops find out who he is, I think I'm pretty sure that's a black man who's saying, why are you arresting me? What did I do? And they're saying, shut your mouth up, or or whatever. And we can do this and all that kind of stuff. And I think this is the one where, well, there was at least two that I saw, and the black men were saying, the black men each in case had check my identification, and the one for sure, I saw that, and a police officer, and the police officers don't, of course I didn't see the entire, well I guess I did see the entire thing. I don't know what they were doing, but I don't know why they stopped him, and did they profile him being a black male or whatever, but anyway, the one, elderly, an elderly police officer, well, not as old as I am. But the officer's, I'm checking it, sir, and pulls it out, opens it up, FBI, the guy, this guy I think is the one, and then also the other one I saw was FBI, the police were being, assholes. And the guy was an FBI agent. Now, if the FBI agent had been doing something illegal, well, that would be different. But just on suspicion of being, being black. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.